Welcome to Studio Lakshmi. I'm Lakshmi, and this week we're going to do Yoga for Anxiety Part 2. I'm going to make it very simple. I'm trying to give some ideas that could be done anywhere, and that people may not be able to understand what you're doing. So they may not realize you're doing yoga. So this might be a very curious class, let's just put it that way. Yoga has many limbs, and in this case, we're going to deal with pranayama, the breathing practices, and meditation. In the ancient books of yoga, they talk about how if you can replace a thought with another thought, that you can calm the wave forms in the mind. So we have, they call them vrittis. We've got these things that bubble up in our mind that may feel not very useful, but they are with us at when we least, we don't expect. We can find them in our dreams. We can find them at a meeting. They may make us stutter or tremble. Whatever these thought forms are, they could be memories or plans, but all of them are fictional. Let's just put it that way. They're either in the past or they're in the future, but they're not in the present. And in the present is all that we have, as the ancient sages say, and modern day sages as well. This is all we have right now, this moment. So number one is when you find yourself feeling anxious, ask yourself, what is it? Where do you feel it? And how can you shift it? So what is it? Could be a memory or it could be a plan. I'm just going to make it that pared down. Where do you feel it? Could be in your shoulders, your jaw, your abdomen, your glutes. And how can you shift it? Well, this is where I'm going to give you some tools. So first, let's imagine that this is an office and you've been given a deadline and you are feeling as if you cannot meet this deadline. It feels unrealistic. But this happens all the time, am I right? And you always meet the deadline for the most part. And if you don't, there's always a solution. Otherwise, you wouldn't be at this job anymore, or whatever that scenario is. So, rest assured that you've been here before and you have survived this before. So that's the first thing you need to tell yourself. I've got this crazy deadline and I can meet this. Instead of adding these negative thought forms, you're going to add positive thought forms. And that's where the focus will stay. And it's realistic thinking, not magical thinking. This is realistic thinking. This is very possible. I've been here before. I've gotten through it, and I am fine. So that's one thing that a person can do to calm the mind down. And now here comes some physical things that one can do. Drink some water. Take a drink of water. Often, this is one of the first things we forget to do. We'll drink caffeine, we'll have a cookie, we'll do things that actually might make us feel more anxious and more tired. Caffeine can often make us more anxious. Cookies can often make us more tired. The the beginning rush of the sugar, yes, it might push a little bit ahead, but the crash that comes later can devastate you and create more anxiety. So drink, and if I were to say a preference, drink warm water. Room temperature for sure, but if you could have a nice glass of warm water, it actually will help you calm down because you're hydrated. It'll allow you to think better. It may not look like yoga, but it's replacing. You're replacing a thought. The thought is, I need caffeine, I need sugar. No, let's replace it with water first. You can go back to work. Okay, some more anxious ideas will come. What can you do? You can take your phone, or if you have a device, another kind of device, your computer, your tablet, or an actual watch, you can set a timer. And the timer could be every half hour, every 30 minutes, maybe, or every hour. And what would you do when you hit that 30 minutes or that hour? Well, you can breathe. You can simply ground your feet on the floor, ground your hands onto the lap, and they literally are grounding feeling when they're fully connected. You may not want to lean into a chair. You want to feel your spine lifted. You want to feel your shoulders relax. You don't even have to close your eyes, and you don't even have to turn your chair in a different direction. You could even have your hands at the desk. If this is something that you don't want anybody to know that you're doing, this is private. This is for you. Just take a moment, rest, and breathe. Breathe all the way into the navel. Feel the belly button move forward, and feel the belly button move in. Now this may feel funny for some people. Some people may be reverse breathers, so it might not feel comfortable. But we want to breathe so that our belly moves forward and the belly moves in. Because think about it, if you're a reverse breather and you think the in-breath is the navel moving into the spine, you're not using all of the muscles, the diaphragm, fully. So when you in-breath with the belly moving forward, you're utilizing all the muscles in the rib cage, the diaphragm, and maybe even to the pelvic floor. So that's something you could do every half hour. Take 5 breaths. This is 4. 5, and it's less than a minute. You just did less than a minute. And then you can go back to your work. You could do that every 15 minutes, every half hour, or every hour. So to reiterate, water and breath. Interesting, because there's water in your breath. Fascinating, huh? Let's hold that thought for a moment. Okay, so you're working, and then you're still feeling anxious. You're not feeling productive. So the next thing is pretty obvious. Take a break. Literally get up. Even if it feels like it's crunchy time, get up. These are power breaks. And one of the biggest things that you can do is get up and move. Now, I'm trying to do a practice that doesn't necessarily draw attention to you. So this could just be, just take a walk down the hall to maybe if there's a little kitchen, and just, let your arms swing. You're not trying to draw attention to yourself, because that can create anxiety for some people. So you're just walking, but throw in some breath. Maybe throw in some positive thoughts. I can do this. I can do this. Put on your ear buds. Put on a song that's uplifting. Do not listen to the news unless it's part of your job and you have to. But this is a break, so don't listen to the news. listen to something uplifting and positive, and just take 5, literally 5. So if you feel anxious that the 5 minutes could go longer, set your alarm and move into whatever that area is, the kitchen, maybe the bathroom. So now I'm going to teach a breath that you could do within that 5 minutes in the privacy of maybe a bathroom stall. If you're fortunate enough that in your office it's a one-person bathroom, I'm going to suggest to look into a mirror and you're going to look at yourself. It's going to seem really cheesy, but remember, this is private. Nobody else can see. So you're going to look into a mirror and you're going to say to yourself, I got this, I can do this. But what if you have somebody that's been a bit annoying and you actually feel so much anxiety that you're worried that you might have an outburst and do something that you might regret and create even more anxiety on top of it? What if, and I challenge you to do this crazy yoga breath, it's called lion's breath, in front of a mirror, but if you don't have access to a mirror, you could just do it in the bathroom stall. And this is going to make a sound, so you will want to have some privacy so that you feel safe. That's the bottom line, is you want to feel safe. So get a nice comfortable seat, just like you did back there, and we did that long breathing for 5 breaths. And we're only going to do this 3 times. It's called lion's breath. So you're going to inhale through the nose and you're going to exhale out the mouth. And you're going to open the mouth wide. So first give your jaw a little open, make sure it feels like it's going to be okay. Maybe a little wiggle in the jaw, rub. You can even tug on your ears, pull them down, pull them up. You can interlace your fingers, bring your hands behind your head and drop your chin. Roll your neck a little bit from side to side. This is all just kind of a prep. You can do this at your desk even. I don't think anybody would think this is too crazy just to open your pectorals and look up and drop your chin and come down and do that a few times. I don't think anybody would care. They might actually join you. But this one might draw attention. So here we go. You're in the privacy of the bathroom, possibly in front of a mirror. And you're going to take a breath in through the nose and out the mouth. And make a crazy face, because it might make you chuckle a little bit and laugh. You can even visualize that person that made you upset and might have almost derailed you, but did not, because you held your peace, you were drinking your water, you were giving yourself breaks. And here we go, one more time. In through the nose, out the mouth. And you don't even have to make such a crazy face, but it kind of feels nice to me. So I'm going to do it one more time. Got even crazier, didn't it? And then you go back to your desk. So, you see where I'm going. You're doing these distracting things. It's replacing a spiraling thought with an action, water, breath. The breath is always with us. But when we are in that phase of anxiety, we are often breathing in the upper part of our rib cage. That brings us into the sympathetic nervous system, which causes more anxiety. So you need to take the breath down. You need to feel the breath in the belly. You need to feel the rib cage, both front, side, and back, expand. You need to relax the shoulders and breathe. So this breath, I'm going to move closer to the screen, is alternate nostril breathing. This one you may also want to do in privacy. So, alternate nostril breathing could be with 2 fingers, if this feels best to you, or 1 hand. I'm going to use my thumb, and I have a bit of an injury, so I'm going to use my pinky finger. Some people can use the ring finger. I can't do that. Anyway, an alternate nostril breathing is going to utilize that breath that I instructed back there, where the big belly breath is. They sometimes call that 3-part breathing. So 3 parts. That's the belly, the chest, and where it enters and exits. So 1, 2, 3. If you want to add the pelvic floor, that's pretty advanced. So, and that can also make you feel more relaxed if you can get to the pelvic floor. So you're going to get that stance with your hands. I'm using my right hand. I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm going to take a big 3-part breath in, nose, chest, all the way to the belly. Close off the right nostril and exhale out the left nostril. Inhale into the left nostril. Close it off, open it out, and exhale through the right nostril. If this doesn't feel good, 2 fingers. I'm going to demonstrate it with 2 fingers. Alternate nostril breathing is great before you give a speech, before you get married, before you go to bed at night, before you travel, like if you have some anxiety on the plane. This would be in person, so you might want to just do it this way, a little secretively, or you can take yourself into the bathroom. And here we go with 2 fingers. So inhale through a full breath in, close off, exhale, inhale, close off, open, exhale, inhale, close off, open, exhale, and one more time, inhale, close, open, exhale. That was with your eyes closed. I had my eyes open, but that was with your eyes closed. And as you can see, you can do it with your eyes open, but it helps you go a little bit more within if you can close your eyes. Last tip, if you do try to do that and you find, I really like that, and you want to keep adding to it, add some counting. So when you take an in-breath in, it's going to be maybe 3 counts. So 1, 2, 3, exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breath in, 2, 3, exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then if that becomes too easy, it'll be a 4 and an 8. So the exhale is what brings us into the parasympathetic nervous system. Remember, sympathetic is up here. Long exhale is the parasympathetic nervous system. So we're almost at the 20 minutes. We're almost at the end. So I guess because of my talk in the beginning, I run over a little bit. But now I'm going to show you the last thing that you can do that could really help you bring joy into your life. And that's just to breathe and move at the same time. So we're going to call this conducting. So you're going to swing the arms forward and out to the side, forward and out. And this is where the breath comes in. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, Inhale, here we go. You can have a little dance party. And you will find that you feel great. Let's just wrap it up with one overview. Drink water, not caffeine. Try not to have too much sugar. Breathe. Breathe deeply. Try to breathe all through the nostril when you're working. Set your timer so that you can take breaks. What is a break? A break could be just to stop and take 5 long breaths. A break could be to go take a walk. It could be outside, it could be inside, you could go somewhere. If you do go somewhere and you decide to take a break and you're feeling particularly anxious, you can do some private things like lion's breath or alternate nostril breathing. Or you could do a dance party or breath, the conducting breath. So that's where we'll conclude today. If you like my channel and you've been watching for a while, if you could help me out by giving me some feedback. I'm trying new things like a tripod, and this week I'm using a mic. But tell me what you need. Like if there's something specific that I'm not thinking of, please tell me what you need, and I would like to try to be that teacher that can facilitate for your needs. This is a community. I'm trying to give tips for life. Nothing more, nothing less. Just simple tips. Have a great day. Move into the holiday season knowing that you've got this. You've done this before and you've survived. It's going to be okay.